Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. We are going to do a little show and tell. If you're watching our series with Dana from Himlane, we just talked about the importance of building your on-ground team. I have said many times and will say again, your on-ground team, if you're going out of state or out of area, is more vital than the market. So Dana's going to be nice enough to pull up Himlane and show us how to help build out your on-ground team. So Dana, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks, Michael, for having me and for allowing this time for us to show you how to build out your team.
Absolutely.
So just to get started, I am going to go through the property manager aspect of it. But one thing I want to show you before then is your contractors and building them out. So whether or not you are self-managing and down the street from your property, or your property is somewhere else and you're trying to figure out who is going to be the handyman, the plumber, the electrician I'm going to use, we'll take you through that process. So under maintenance and repair here, there's something called service professionals. And you would go ahead and click add service professional. Let me tell you why you should. More information is better upfront, because what we're trying to do is teach you the questions you should be asking along the way. And that way you really know, hey, where do I have some gaps in building my team? So let's just say I'm doing Paul Lopez and it's Paul's Plumbing, right? And I'm adding him in here, and then, I put his address and stuff like that. Say I go ahead and put his phone number. I'm just going to put a fake number in here. 1, 2, 3. Alternative phone number. You might ask, there might be an office line and an after hours line or something. So this is why it's like, make sure you have everything about this person. Same with the email address. Make sure you have from them everything that you need to make sure that if you're calling them and it's an emergency and a pipe just burst, that you literally have all the information. It's not like, oh, well, you called the office line and that was closed and you were supposed to call after hours or whatever it is. And then choose the categories of what service categories they do, which I'll say beats plumbing. You can put some notes in here. But this is more important part, is really understanding pricing and things like that. And so here, if I say, great, their minimum fee is $89. It's a fixed amount or per hour. I could put details here. So I could ask, well, does this go towards the service call rate? Does the service call rate go towards the actual work that's being done? Or am I going to have to pay extra for the work? What is the average pricing that you have? So adding all of that into there is really important. And then down here under your credentials and hours, you want to know, are they 24/7? Yes or no? Are they available on weekends? Yes or no? This is especially important with HVAC providers, electricians, as well as plumbers, because that's where you see most of the emergencies happen. And then the insured, bonded, and licensed, you definitely need to ask those questions and put those in there to confirm, if they're not licensed for plumbing, you probably shouldn't be sending them out. And then if you're on our complete package, we'll go ahead and we can do the invoicing and payment on behalf for you. And then documents. This is where you can upload insurance, any pricing lists they have, any licenses, et cetera, in there. I'm just going to skip that for now, and then select my properties, and I'm on my way. So that is basically how you add your service professional to your properties. You can delete, you can add more, et cetera, but you really do want to know this information up front, so you're not surprised by their charges. You're not surprised by any liability things. And if it's 24/7 emergency, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, whether or not this is someone that you can call out. So that's the first part about building your team, is your service professionals are really important. Any questions on that before I go to the next?
No, I think this is exactly the thing to do. And again, folks, when you're building out your, in a new market that you're in, ask for referrals, get the information. This should be an ongoing exercise. I challenge my students in my course to try to grow their network by 2 a week. And again, a service professional is growing your network. And again, another thing to think about with your service professionals is they are servicing other investors. So ask for referrals, get introductions, really get out there and network and meet more people. So that's just how I would use service providers as a lead source and grow your network.
Yep. And if you are doing our repair coordination, after every repair request, we ask, how did we do, as well as how did the service professional do, to flag to you if they haven't done well. I was on a call the other day with someone who they brought in their own service professional, and the contractor did pretty bad work. And they said, you know what, Dana, we spoke with over 10 real estate investors who've used this person. And then they drilled into the details and found out the person, to your point, Michael, in the last video, their company got too large. Their general contractor, their company got too large. So they started hiring people who were not obviously as good as them. And so the real estate investors who were recommending him, not that random guy that he hired who doesn't know and is doing shoddy work. So there's those types of things that you see come up. So the first part is building the team. The second part is maintaining the team. It's just like at work, making sure that people are the performance is happening. And tenants can also help you with that. You need to have that history as well. You know, hey, they were just out for that job. Why is the tenant submitting another request for this? All of that is super important as well. So it's a little bit about your maintenance and repair team. As far as your property management team, there's all sorts of things. You can click request an agent. You can also search in Hemlane.com to see what markets we're in. You can click locations, and then you'll be able to see which ones we have agents in today who can help you locally. Very cool. But you can go ahead and add a user to any of your properties. So you go through, add their name and email. But the most important thing is permissions on it, of what permissions they have. So here would be an example of a leasing agent, right? I can give them certain access to every property. So if you have someone who is your maintenance person, maybe an on-site maintenance guy, because you have in California a property over 16 units and they're your on-site manager for that, you could just choose maintenance and they have access to add new service professionals, dispatch themselves, etc., all throughout the system. You might also just have a leasing agent who helps find and place tenants. You want to give them access to marketing to advertise your rental. You want to give them access to prospective tenants so they can manage the applicants and the leads. And then you want them to be able to request payments such as the security deposit and the rent, but you don't want them to be able to receive it. They can't get the money. It only goes directly to you. And so we have various permissions set up here, and then you can always do custom based on what your specific needs are in the system to make sure that everyone on your team, you're building that team correctly. You can have as many users on Hemlane as you want, and you can add them to all your properties or just some. And so things that we've seen successful is adding your accountant, and they can view your transactions, they can download them, putting together your accounting reports. You can do things like that. You can add someone who's helping with the tenant communication if you have a property manager for that. So you can add whoever you want to your properties and still control them and have the right permissions in place. So that is a quick overview of adding your team, both on the service professional side as well as on the property management side.
That is so cool. Could you stop sharing so we can wrap this up together? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
All right. There we go. So one of the things I want to highlight for folks, again, folks, if you're watching this video, you need to take the 30-day trial below. There's also a discount code for you. But the thing I'm thinking about is we've just released in our online course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, a house hacking section. One of the things I would do if you're interested in house hacking, I would take the 30-day trial and just see how you could do it, right? You're going to buy a fourplex. You're going to be a landlord. Their tenants are going to be right next to you. So realize that there's a lot of communication and the system could help you. So again, take the trial. Doesn't cost you anything. Pretend to be a landlord for 30 days and see how it feels. So Dana, any other closing thoughts?
No, I'm excited for those who try the 30-day free trial. And we do have that script for people to go through the day-to-day to see exactly how they can go through end-to-end Hemlane in 30 days.
Absolutely. And folks, what she's referring to is there's a playlist on this channel called Hemlane. I think it was last week. We did a whole walkthrough of a 30-day trial. So you can watch that. If you're in my course, I actually will put the PDF there so you can go through it yourself. So folks, have a wonderful day. Dana, have a great week.
Great. Thanks so much, Michael.
You got it.